Hi, I'm Briana, or Nerdiegirl, and this is my tutorial with tips and tricks for finding and purchasing your first ocarina, proper ways to hold your ocarina, and proper breathing, and many other tips of the like. So, get some paper and a pencil, and let's get started. Finding and purchasing your first ocarina. It's going to seem a little crazy because there's sites all over. I mean, what do you do? Well, alright. I'm getting my chair. Wakey wakey. Okay. Alright, let's see, search bar, O-C-A-R-I-N-A, search, Ocarinas, $70? Search again. Page 6. Ooh. Free lessons? Cheap? Okay. What's going on? What? Okay. Oh no. No. This is bad. Okay, that is not what you do to find your ocarina. I'm going to show you what you need to do and what you really should do so that you don't have a mishap with your computer and that every single thread of information, personal and otherwise, is kept safe. Because clicking a bad link can lead to a very, very bad day. Alright, so I'm about to show you the first step to safely finding your first ocarina. This is seeming a little bit off topic, but yeah, you will need this if you want to be safe about finding ocarinas and anything else online. Norton Safe Web Lite. It tells you what websites are bad and their safety level. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description. Moving on to step 2. Alright, so step 2. You searched. There's a number of sites. Top 4 that I know of are Songbird Ocarina, Mountains Ocarina, Hind Ocarina, and STL Ocarina. The thing you want to think about is budget and the size of your hands and fingers. If you have normal to small fingers and hands, then you might want a mountain ocarina. If you don't have too tight of a budget, you can get a wooden. Or, if you're on a tighter budget, you can get a plastic ocarina. They look pretty good. They come in like black plastic. Also, if you've got very small hands, you can get a pendant. For larger fingers and hands, 12 holes, sweet potato ocarinas. They come in different shapes, but most come in this type of shape, either longer or slimmer. And there's also the large style of pendant that even with larger hands and fingers you can play. But going by budget, plastic ocarinas are probably the way to go, unless you know that you're really into the ocarinas and that you're going to be wanting to play these for a while. I say a good starter would be this one, the Mountain Ocarina, because it comes with a CD to learn. It helps you learn to read music. And the plastic ones are only about $20. So there's for choosing your first ocarina, just make sure that you read the measurements on the ocarinas and go with what you feel. So moving on to tip number 2. Alright, so tip number 2, how to properly hold your ocarina. This may seem like a silly thing to make into a tip, but if you're learning just now to get how to play your ocarina, you may not know. So for an inline, which these are called inline ocarinas, where the holes go up the length of the ocarina, like this. You hold it where your fingers line up. 2 thumb holes are covered. Like this. Be sure not to cover the fipple window where the wind comes through. For pendants, cover the 2 thumb holes, right and left. Make sure that the windway is facing you. Cover these. Use your index and middle fingers, and then use your ring fingers to balance. That can also be done with the larger pendants. If you have decided to get a triple, holding it like this for the first airway, sliding down, this doesn't need to be covered anymore, for the second airway, and then this is the third airway. If you just bought a 12 hole, this is how you hold it, like this, covering the holes. You can cover the sub holes if you want to. That reaches the lowest notes, and the thumb holes are covered. This is how you hold it. So next we will move on to proper breathing techniques. So when you are playing your ocarina, proper breathing tips. You'll want to breathe in through your nose. Don't do it. You breathe in like this. Can you see that? You just open your mouth slightly around the mouthpiece and breathe in. And when you are breathing in, you do not let your shoulders rise and fall or your chest move. You will be using your diaphragm. So, I'll show you. And that is just the basics. You can practice it just by putting your hand on your stomach, and when you breathe out, your stomach will move in, and when you breathe in, your stomach will move outwards. So the next step is learning how to play the scale. Alright, so learning and playing the scale is tip number 4. Most ocarinas will come with a book. Reading them is easy. It just tells you what holes to cover. I'll show you how they sound. A 12 hole, you cover all the holes. It starts at A and ends at F. Not going to play any sharps or flats, so that's A to F. The mountain ocarina, you go from C to E, covering all the holes to covering none. With a pendant, it goes from C to E, but it has a weird little setup with them, where it goes all but right middle, all but right index, both of the left side covered, both of the uppers covered, left covered, upper, right upper covered, both thumb holes, left thumb hole, none. Oops. This is a soprano, so it's very loud. And for the triples, the left side of the triple works just like a 12 hole. But it ends on D, and then you start from E. See, here's the paper. It goes from A to D on the left, E to C on the middle, and D to A. So, here's E to C. And then D to A. Very loud. So that's those tips. Now moving on to ocarinas that are safer for travel.